Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
We have finally busted through the clouds, but even with the sun, a chilly afternoon and chillier air still to come.
Plus 4 more years. Voters give Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan a second term in a landslide victory. But first, federal agents carry out multiple raids across southeast Michigan. That story does top our news at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassimy, and right now we're learning those raids are connected to a suspected drug ring that's operating right here in Metro Detroit. One of at least 6 raids taking place this morning happened at a home on Lehigh Court in Canton. That's where we find Local 4's Sean Lay joining us live now this afternoon. And Sean, what have you found out?
Well, Evrod, I can tell you the neighbors here on Lehigh Court absolutely shocked watching the feds raid a home here. Now this afternoon we hear from the U.S. Attorney saying that they have busted a Detroit street gang working on the east side, alleging one of the gang's members lived right here in Canton. Neighbors in this quiet Canton subdivision shocked this morning watching the feds raid this $330,000 home at the end of Lee Court. This noon, we now know why the U.S. Attorney's Office telling Local 4 that local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies have busted a drug-dealing street gang operating on Detroit's east side, calling themselves Smoke Camp Original Paid Bosses. The feds say one of those so-called bosses lives here in Canton. Busted along with 12 other suspected gang members is 28-year-old Jeray Key of Canton. Key is charged with RICO conspiracy charges for allegedly selling guns to other gang members. The feds say Key was bold about his alleged involvement, posting on Facebook and Instagram gang-related business. Back here live, it's important to point out, Evrod, a person living inside the home told us he had no idea why the feds were interested in the home here on Lee Court. In the meantime, the ATF will not also, they're the ones who conducted the raid. They're not confirming their activity here on this court, telling us that they'll have more information on this raid related to the gang later today. Live in Canton, Sean Lay, Local 4.
And we certainly hope so, because we got a lot of questions. Sean, thank you. New at noon now, a former Romeo High School football coach is heading to jail for soliciting students for sex. It was back in September. 25-year-old Hector Tanner pleaded guilty to using a computer to commit a crime and accosting children for immoral purposes after texting 2 different high school girls, ages 15 and 16, and asking them for sex. In court this morning, he was sentenced to 6 months in the Macomb County Jail, followed by 5 years of probation. And 2 men charged in a series of kidnappings, robberies, and sexual assaults just faced one of their accusers in court. Aaron Stewart and Quentin Flemons are charged in connection with 3 different kidnapping and sexual assaults in Hamtramck, Highland Park, and Detroit. And if found guilty, they face possible life in prison. One of the victims in the case just finished testifying. We're going to have her testimony ahead on Local 4 News at 5 p.m. Well, yesterday, thousands of Detroiters hit the polls for dozens of different races throughout the city. And one of the biggest races, of course, was the race for mayor of Detroit. In the end, incumbent Mayor Mike Duggan was reelected for a second term, defeating Coleman A. Young II with a decisive 44-point lead. At his victory speech late last night, he said that he'll continue to focus on the city's violence as well as incoming business and development. And it was a nail-biter race in the city of Detroit for the position of city clerk. And in the end, Janice Winfrey narrowly beat Garland Gilchrist II with less than 2,000 votes between them. Winfrey first took office back in 2005. And Detroiters also voted on 2 medical marijuana proposals that would make it easier for dispensaries to open in the city. The first proposal, which passed by more than 19,000 votes, requires Detroit to opt into state law that requires 5 licenses to operate. And a zoning ordinance, which passed by more than 16,000 votes, expands the zones in which dispensaries can operate. For detailed results on all the races for the 2017 Michigan general elections, you can head to our website. That is clickondetroit.com. Let's bring in meteorologist Brandon Rue now for a quick check of the forecast. Kind of a chilly and sunny afternoon as we take a live look outside. What is likely the warmest day the rest of the week, Brandon?
Certainly going to be the brightest day the rest of the week, unfortunately, but it's that cool sunshine. There's at least 1 or 2 viewers out there that always get me on that. Well, how could that be possible? Well, just sort of a term of endearment. 46 degrees right now, 41 in Pontiac, just now getting out of the 30s finally. It's 45 in Monroe, Harrow, Ontario at 42. We still have these north winds in parts of southern Ontario, but the rest of us seeing the northwest winds shift to the west-southwest. These little arrows here indicate which direction the wind is coming from, and it's flattened out a little bit, so as it becomes more southwest, maybe a better chance of more of you hitting 50 degrees heading through the afternoon. 53 is average, so we've been below that here for a few days, hoping to get near there today. And then as we head into tomorrow, a whole different story, Evrod. A cold front, rain, snow, wind, we've got it all.
Alrighty, Brandon, we'll be checking back in with you shortly. Vice President Mike Pence now will be traveling to Sutherland Springs, Texas today to meet with victims and community members as they try and heal from the worst mass shooting in Texas history. And his visit comes as we're learning more about the gunman who carried out Sunday's mass shooting. NBC's Sarah Dolph reports from Sutherland Springs.
Good afternoon. This will be the Vice President's second visit in as many months to comfort a community stricken by gun violence. Inside this Texas church, moments of terror. David Brown's mother telling him the gunman moved methodically through the sanctuary.
The shooter stays at the door, shooting everyone for quite a while, unloads quite a few magazines, and then he starts walking up and down the aisle shooting everybody that was laying on the ground.
Officials estimate about 50 people were inside the church, 20 were injured, 26 died. Air Force veteran Scott Marshall and his wife Karen had just moved from the Pittsburgh area.
Go there to pray and get killed.
Investigators have sent shooter Devin Kelly's phone to an out-of-state FBI crime lab, hoping to crack the passcode as more troubling details about his past emerge. Months after assaulting his first wife and infant stepson at an Air Force base in New Mexico, Kelly escaped from a mental health facility. An employee who tracked him to the bus station told police Kelly was attempting to carry out death threats against superior officers. Kelly later pleaded guilty to assault in a court-martial and was given a year in detention and a bad conduct discharge. However, the Air Force failed to enter the crime into a national database, allowing Kelly to purchase firearms like the 3 found in his SUV Sunday. Overnight, first responders spoke about arriving on scene and learning they had personal connections to the tragedy. EMT Rebecca Metcalf's father was among those killed.
So much tragedy and so much loss.
The horror of Sunday's attack hitting too close to home. Aid continues to pour into this community, including donations of 26 caskets and other funeral expenses. Sarah Dolph, Local 4.
Today, former White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon will be making an appearance in Warren for the Macomb County Republican Unity Dinner. The event being held just 1 year after the 2017 presidential elections and will feature Bannon as its keynote speaker. Several organizations are already planning to protest. Warren police will be on the scene there to ensure that those demonstrations stay peaceful. And the state Senate is expected to vote on a bill today that could let teachers bring guns to school. The bill would also allow people to carry in churches and other public spaces. Supporters of the bill argue that in some cases citizens might need to be armed because police might not be there in the event of some horrific tragedy. But critics are concerned about the minimum level of training that's required to get one. Well, in just a few months, a local Target store will be closing its doors. The store at the Eastland Mall in Harper Woods is one of 12 Target locations closing across the United States. Target saying that it evaluates stores annually, and the 12 locations closing underperformed over the last few years. The store will remain open for the holidays and will close its doors on February 3rd. All right, new at noon, the world-famous Louvre Museum expands in the Middle East. After 10 years and $1 billion, we're getting our first look inside. So we'll show that to you next. Plus, a 94-year-old woman abducted from her own Arizona home. We'll tell you what her attacker did next and how she got free. But first, President Trump lands in China as part of his tour of Asia, what he's expected to make his top priority during talks with the Chinese president. All right, welcome back. President Trump is continuing his Asia tour with a stop in China. The president is pushing China on trade and North Korea during his 2-day visit. Here's Peter Alexander reporting from Beijing.
President Trump arriving in China for what is most certainly the most crucial stop of his five-nation Asian tour, receiving a red carpet welcome upon his landing here. The President and First Lady getting a tour of the Forbidden City alongside President Xi and his wife. Earlier today in South Korea, President Trump called out both Russia and China by name, urging them to join forces to isolate the brutal North Korean regime. President Trump with a blunt warning for the erratic dictator Kim Jong-un, describing him as a deranged tyrant who's presiding over, in President Trump's words, a cult.
I say to the North, do not underestimate us and do not try us.
President Trump himself trying to pull off a surprise visit earlier today to the fortified demilitarized zone, the DMZ, but that was foiled by fog. Just last week, the White House said that they had no plans to make such a trip, but we now learned that this plan had actually been in the work for weeks. And one other note, here in China, Twitter is blocked by the Chinese, but a White House official tells us that they brought with them special equipment so the president could get around the firewall here in China if he likes, to keep tweeting whenever he wants to. That's the latest from here in China. I'm Peter Alexander, traveling with the president in Beijing.
Well, this is a pretty wild story. A 94-year-old Arizona woman escapes from the trunk of a car after she was abducted from her own home. Police say that a man broke in, bound her up, and placed her in the trunk of her car and then drove right off. He then abandoned the woman and the car at a local mall. It was 7 hours later that 94-year-old woman was able to free herself.
I don't know if I could have. I don't know what you do in a situation like that. I am so impressed that she found her way out of the trunk. I don't know how she did it, but I think it's wonderful. I'm very proud of her.
Yeah, that is that woman's neighbor, and we're just glad that she's okay. That suspect, believe it or not, is still on the loose. Well, after 10 years and $1 billion, a new Louvre museum opens in Abu Dhabi. The new attraction has more than 600 works of art, including pieces by Leonardo da Vinci and Vincent van Gogh. The first artwork visitors see might actually be the building itself. It was designed by award-winning French architect Jean Nouvel. Inside, the Louvre Abu Dhabi has more than 600 artworks on display. Pretty cool.
New at noon.
It is the largest pink diamond in the world, and it's now up for auction. We'll tell you how much it's worth and why there's so much mystery surrounding it. Brandon?
Well, we're looking at the positives here. We have sunshine, the brightest day of the week today, and the middle of next week, things are going to warm up a little bit for us. The trouble is cold front. It's going to impact us for several days. We'll talk about snowflakes, raindrops next.
Most people are lucky to get one miracle in their lives.
No day is taken for granted.
This woman got not one, not two, but 3 miracles, 3 second chances at life, and it has completely changed how she lives it.
I just do things very differently now.
Now her giving family wants to pay it forward.
It literally saves their life. And doesn't just save their life, but it gives them an awesome quality of life for the rest of their life.
The one gift they want you to consider giving in your lifetime, tonight at 11.
Diamonds.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Don't let the sunshine out the window fool you, right?
Right, because it is cool, but you know, we're thinking 50 degrees or so you've been used to this the last couple of days. We can handle it, but
if you say so.
Take a look at this, Evrod.
What is that?
Well,
a tulip?
This is
a begonia.
No. It's a rose.
A dandelion.
And it's Suze.
Oh, it's a rose?
Either Suze or Susie, depending on that one or I, but listen, Marine City, she says, this is the last rose of the year, and the frost this morning will take care of that. Local 4 Storm Pins, we want to see your frost pictures, your storm pictures, your beard pictures, your pet pictures, whatever you have, send them to us. Frozen roses in Marine City. Beautiful shot of the Ambassador Bridge, 46 degrees currently, not too shabby. We should be seeing early November temperatures based on a 30-year average, about 53. Instead, it's mainly upper 40s. I certainly believe some of you are going to see 51, 52, but some of our north zones staying in the middle 40s, so we hedge our bets, and upper 40s to near 50s. And sunshine with us all day, mostly clear skies overnight until about 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And that allows for another cool down tonight without the clouds over us. The heat that we gather during the day escapes very quickly overnight. So 31 with 20s in most of our suburbs. Good deal of sunshine today. We've been mentioning this cold front. There's a reason the cold front has these barbs like teeth. This thing is going to have a little bite to it as it comes in here tomorrow afternoon. A minor concern about snow squalls. The winds are going to kick up, a little rain-snow mix. I think the squalls may be in our north zone, parts of northern Livingston, Oakland, Macomb counties into the thumb. Not today. Model shows us we're good to go through the rest of the day today. Clouds fill in overnight, and then tomorrow afternoon, green is the rain and the blue is the snow, the pink, magenta, purple. Could be anything. A little mix there, but we just need to be very mindful of an isolated snow squall or two during the afternoon, early evening hours on Thursday, because every year when these happen, they reduce visibility on the highways to nothing and lead to nothing but trouble. So we just want to make sure we're aware of that. Friday, the cold air behind that front arrives, and we're going to be near record lows on Friday and Saturday morning. Teens in most locations. 34 is it. The look of fall, but the feel of winter on your Friday. Veterans Day looks nice. We're holding off the wintry mix until Sunday, but Everard, we're warning everybody as they head out to services or tailgating for the Lions game, could be more of that rain-snow mix.
Alrighty, Brandon, thank you. Let's talk about this pink diamond, or the pink Raj, as it's called. It's an intense pink diamond described by experts as the world's largest, and is expected to fetch anywhere from $30 to $40 million when it's auctioned in Geneva next week. The rough diamond was mined in 2015, and it's the subject of mystery since it's being auctioned by an anonymous owner. Previous sales for smaller pink diamonds have yielded more than $1 million per carat when they were auctioned off. And Apple is selling the iPhone, the new iPhone 10, for $1,000, but how much does it really cost them to make it? The components in the device cost $370. That's according to a new report. That is far more than previous models of the smartphone. The bill for materials in the iPhone 8, much lower than that, $100, more than $100 lower. That model costs $255 to make. Two features of the iPhone 10 that drive up the cost would be the Face ID technology and the improved screens. You're definitely paying a lot more. Still ahead, a 6-year-old girl winning over the internet. See the church choir performance that has made her a viral sensation when we come back. All right, finally here at noon, have you ever heard the phrase, wave your hands in the air like you just don't care?
Yeah, you know it.
That's you every weekend,
That's
right?
That's me getting it down at the clubs. 6-year-old Tennessee girl did just that and is now an internet sensation. Check it out. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. You know, use your arms. Wave your hands up in the air like you just don't care. As you can see, it is young Lauren Patterson singing with her church choir when she became especially moved by the music.
And none of the other kids seem to even notice. In this video, is posted on Facebook by her mom. She just keeps on grooving as that music keeps on going. I love that. I love her spirit.
Hey, we have a special group in the audience today. This is a group of friends of mine from Lance Cruise Trips and Tours from Sterling Heights, Warren, Roseville, St. Clair Shores. Good to have you, ladies and gent.
Thanks for stopping by.